All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, end of the weekend. Hard to believe it's already over. Welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 live stream, our only live stream of today. We are on the Hamburg to Lübeck line. We are going to take the DBBR 112, a little fancy looking little locomotive there. We're going to do a passenger service. From Hamburg to Lübeck. This one right here. And then we're going to do a freight service from Lübeck to the port, which is, if you look on the map, there's a line that runs vertical close to Hamburg. So that's going to be our destination. We'll do a freight service to there, and we'll wrap things up. So I don't have to wait for anything. What am I waiting for? Let's go in here and get the train started up. I don't know what I'm waiting for. There's no multiplayer on this, so. Alright. Let's get this on. That open. Let's go. There it is. Make sure this is all closed. And away we go. Hello, Para. Thank you. I'm guessing you're not sticking around. Is that what you mean by have a safe journey? You're saying hi and bye? No, I'm okay. Gotcha. It took me a minute. I had to remember how to start this thing up. I did a quick try before I went live, just to kind of get re-familiar with the. Because I've not been on this line in a while, and I've not driven this locomotive in quite some time. So. So I've got, so, oh. Oops. So yeah, we'll just do this today, and then we'll wrap things up. Tomorrow, remember, it'll be, the time for the stream. I will try to get home and get things going as quickly as I can. With the startup and controls. Yeah, I have that too if I'm doing something else. Yeah, I forget where everything is and all that. So yeah, tomorrow's flight, I'm going to try to be back by 7:30. Hopefully, if the Walmart isn't too terribly busy, we shall see. And then try to get home, and then we'll get the flight started. It's going to be a bit of a long one, probably close to 4 hours. Our first leg is supposed to be about 2 hours and 5 minutes, but of course, if we can, we'll try to squeeze every bit of speed out of the airplane that we can. In the with the intent of expediency, tomorrow I'm just going to start on the departure runway. I'm not going to do the whole start up and taxi out. I'll just be on the departure runway, and then we'll get things going. If you want to join in, you're more than welcome to. If not, it's perfectly fine. We are nearing the end of our journey. I've got the first 2 legs of the Junkers flight across America. We're going to depart from JFK and head to Washington, D.C. to the Reagan National Airport. And then we're going to go from there. That'll be that first flight on that Monday, I do believe. The 22nd of August. So I've got all that kind of laid in. I've got some good flights, I think, for towards the last week of August. Once we conclude our flight, I'll take those 5 days off and kind of just figure out some things and try to come up with some more stuff for the going into September. I saw Joseph was on Farming Sim this morning. I went to go try to watch him, and by the time, I guess he had already concluded his stream by the time I was ready to kind of a little bit more awake to actually pay attention to what he was doing. I'm guessing he's back under the engine of the go-kart. Throwing spanners and cursing at everything. Well, speak of the devil, look who it is. Here I thought you'd have your face buried up in that engine again. Throwing spanners and curse words and such. Yeah. Well, usually, like, when... Yeah, you were... Ooh, we gotta get on the brake here very quickly. Oh boy, I think we're gonna spad this. Unless I can get the emergency brake will stop us in time. It's gonna be close. There was like no warning on that one. None. No warning whatsoever. I think I have to reset. I'm starting to go backwards. There we go. There was no yellows there. It was a straight up red. Yeah, I was a bit early. I just happened to... I saw it briefly, and then I was like, well, let me get up and kind of get moving around, and then by the time I get out here to the living room, and you have to go back to the go-kart. So, Joseph, I'm trying to understand how... So, is this like a job for you now, or is this just something you're doing for fun, or I'm kind of confused. I mean, are you getting paid for this work, or no? I'm a bit... I don't know what's really going on. And also, if, on my birthday, I try not to go to work. I don't... It's my birthday. I don't want to do nothing. It's my day. No, it's like a summer thing that I do. I don't get paid for it. Okay. All right. Oh, Jesus. Oh, here we go again. I'm gonna spat. You know, this is the one thing I did not like about this line. Was this it cannot make up its mind if it's gonna be a red or if it's gonna be a yellow, or a red, or it's just, I'm just gonna coast. Screw it. I'm gonna end up driving myself crazy with these reds. It can't make up its mind. I'm guessing there must be another train in front of us that I'm catching up to, which, I mean, if I'm going the speed that it says I'm supposed to be going, then yeah, I don't quite understand it. Yeah, it's no, Per, no. It's the Hamburg to Lübeck. No, Per, it's not my birthday on Wednesday as well. I'm just saying in general, when it's my birthday, I don't like to go to work. I don't want to do anything. It's my day. You know. I spent many times on my birthday when I was in the military, either I was deployed or coming home from deployment. It was just like it was a non-day. So I'm at the point in my life now where, hey, if I'm not going to go to work, I'm not going to go to school, whatever it is, I'm not. Yeah, this is the Hamburg to Lübeck. I think this is one of the problems. It's like, you get going and you get on a good speed because you're trying not to be late, and then you're catching up to another train in front of you because you're going fast and they're stopped. So then they put the reds up because otherwise you're going to get too close to the station and then it could cause an accident or something. But yeah, I think I remember this now, that this is one of the things I despise most about this line. No, nobody will ever know. I don't ever say when my birthday is. That's personal, so people can take that information and steal your identity, whatever. If they can figure out birth dates and all that kind of stuff, they'll steal your identity. That's exactly what they'll do. Mm. Yeah. Well, I think because there's probably another 112 in front of us that's was stopping at this. But usually, I would think we would have gotten yellows to warn us, to slow down. So otherwise, you got to get on the emergencies right away. But anyway, speaking of, yeah, so I've gotten used to my birthday not being a big deal because that's just how it's been in my life. So I don't want people to know because I'm used to it not being a big deal. And I don't want people purposely fussing over it either and making a big to do about it. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. So of course now we're going to be late thanks to the numpty reds. So yeah, it's just another day for me, but I do what I like. Morning, Mick. How are you, good sir? Nice to see you here. Kept wondering if you guys were going to stream last night, and I guess you guys had a board meeting instead. No, no, nope, 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 nope. That Grand Prix is written off. It doesn't exist. It's gone. Nope. If any Mercedes driver's on the front row, it's a non Grand Prix as far as I'm concerned. Nope, 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 nope. We'll just go on to the next one. No, no. I'm tired of Mercedes. I'm fed up with them. They've had their way too much. Yeah, last year was a shocker, but no. I don't want to see Mercedes rebound. I want them to lose. I want them to have that feeling of that everybody else has had on the grid for the last damn near decade. Because that's what everybody wanted from Ferrari, and that's what they got. So Mercedes needs to have a bit of that, their own, that as well. They need to have that. No. What I'm saying, Parrot, is when you give out things like your birthday or any other personal information, somebody can use, not that somebody has, but they can use that information to steal your identity. So you have to be very careful about saying that information. Well, maybe we'll see. But anyway, that I'm always cognizant of that. There's people out there that will take that information, anything that they can use. If somehow they get your bank account information, your credit card information, your birth date. In America, your social security number, anything that they can use to steal your identity. That's exactly what they're going to do. So no, I am very aware that people do those sorts of things. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of it too, Mick. I I wanted to see, I like to see different winners when it's one team. And I know I rooted for Ferrari when they were dominating, because when it's your team dominating, you don't have a problem with it. But when it's not your team, then you're like, oh, this is terrible. Like that. That was my biggest complaint since the end of 2000, from early 2000s, when Ferrari was winning a lot. Um, I felt that the criticisms of Ferrari. Okay, there could be some fair criticisms of how they conducted themselves, but the assurance we had from the FIA was there would never be another Schumacher type of era. There would never be another domination at all. Period. They would never allow it. Well, that's turned out to be a lie, hasn't it? It wasn't right when it was Ferrari doing it, but now the Mercedes is doing it. Well, it's okay. you know. Yeah, and then you have what happened with the last year, you have Toto Wolff and the guy from Red Bull always fussing with that one guy and putting him in a bad position, and of course he's trying to, you know, uh, be the unbiased person, and obviously that wasn't the case. He turned out to be kind of biased. You know, in one way or the other, depending on who was complaining the most. It seemed, so that puts the whole sport. Yeah, I love the Schumacher era, but I could also understand that people felt that the domination of Ferrari was too much. And now you have the domination of Mercedes. Well, I don't know that they're going to come back this year because I don't think there's enough races where they can turn everything around. Everybody else would have to not finish, and Hamilton or George would have to finish in the points, win 1-2 for every race just to maybe get it, but I don't know that they would. Um, but yeah, I I just don't like the hypocrisy of it. If they weren't fine with the Schumacher Ferrari era, then they should not be fine with the Hamilton Mercedes era. That's what I'm saying. You know. I think that, and then Fernando Alonso has been highly overrated. If they talk about him being one of the greatest drivers ever, yeah, he won Le Mans because he boohooed his way into Toyota and all that kind of crap. He won Daytona because I think he cheated. I think that race where he won the 24 hours of Daytona, I think they cheated, but they got away with it. He hasn't won the Indy 500 yet. I don't know that he ever will. But I think Alonso, if he was so great, why hasn't he turned Alpine around? Why hasn't he made them into a better team? If he's so great. Well, I'm going to end up getting caught for speeding here. Yeah, I'm speeding. I'm not paying attention. So yeah, although I don't see him as a great driver. If he was so great, why hasn't he turned the team around? Well, hello, Jody. Nice to see you here. But yeah, I don't know. I was in Ferrari's been a huge disappointment. I thought this was going to be the year they were finally going to turn things around, and nope, they haven't done that exactly. They've kind of handed that away, I think, after a strong start. You know. I don't mind F1, but you just getting over drivers, just what do you mean? Hello, Skip. Um, what do you mean, Joseph? I don't quite understand what you meant. Well, well, you do, but it's also The problem is when once a driver becomes great, right? In a you know whether they've won their first championship and they've got that taste, right? Um, um, you know, and then it's like you're like I think that's why Nico Rosberg left. He got the one championship and he was like, "That's enough." Because I think it consumes you, and then your behavior becomes, like I guess in a way like Hamilton. You start criticizing everybody else's driving and you won't accept criticism of your own. You know, so Nico won and he's like, "I'm done." And I think that was the smart thing to do for him because I think he didn't want to be consumed by it. But they seem to pull into a when you're talking about the F1 game, Joseph. I think I don't know what. I'm guessing that's what you mean. Well, but that's some drivers they're just not you know it's they feel like they've got the spot and it's their line and if you know and of course then it turns into an ugly situation after the race in the paddock or the pit area and okay. um, I know I think he left because if he hadn't I think uh, Hamilton would have made he I think you could tell by Hamilton's body language that Nico winning the championship he was not happy about it even though it was a win for the team. The fact that he wasn't the one winning really upset him, I think. And so Nico was probably like, I'm out of here because I'm not going to, it was going to turn, I think it was going to turn into a very ugly situation. That's my view. I could be wrong, but it just felt like that it was going to get. Because I think when Nico won, the kind of the pendulum swung back his way, and the team kind of rallied around him, and I don't think Hamilton appreciated that, and so yeah, I already think that relationship was not a very positive one. Yeah. Well, like, but it is a team sport at the end, but you're also trying to look out for yourself, you know, and um, you know, Hamilton's stock was rising when Nico won the championship, and I think it looked like that kind of got in Hamilton's way. You know, if he had won, then he'd be the eight-time world champion. He would have been one ahead of Schumacher. So I think that's his goal is he wants to be better than Schumacher, and I can understand that. Will I ever respect him for it? No, probably not, because I don't think he's not been the champion. You know, there's more to being a champion than just winning the championship. I think. You know, but I mean, the record books will say he's the greatest, but not in my mind. He won't be. Whatever the record books say. Just like there's football players. He's the greatest. No, I think there's better football players than Tom Brady, than better quarterbacks. But he's got all the records and the rings to prove it. But there's Joe Montana, for instance. I think is a far better quarterback than Tom Brady. And Joe Montana didn't have near the amount of protection from the refs that Tom Brady's enjoyed over his career. you know, I always joke that a defensive player, a free safety, could look at Tom Brady cross-eyed from downfield, and the ref will throw a flag for roughing the passer. you know. Steve Young, Joe Montana, Troy Aikman. A lot of those players, they didn't enjoy the amount of protection that Tom Brady enjoys as a quarterback from any kind of hit. You know. But the record books say that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. I don't subscribe to it. If he played in the era of Terry Bradshaw, in the 70s, where there was all kinds of hitting, all kinds of stuff, I don't think Tom Brady would have lasted. You know, other than maybe he would have had 3 good seasons, and that would have been it. Well, he's the quarterback that won a lot of games for the New England Patriots, and then he moved to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, won a couple more. I think he won another 2 Super Bowls with them, and now he's retired. But he's one of those people. He'll say, "Oh, I retired," and then all of a sudden he'll like, "Well, I got an offer from," and then he'll go out there and play another season or two. And it's at what point do you say that you've won enough, and that you're going to enjoy retirement? I mean, there comes a point that you have to, like when Peyton Manning went to Denver after his injuries in Indianapolis. Like, is it really worth it? Like that last Super Bowl he won, you could tell he was struggling. If the defense hadn't pulled through, he wouldn't have won that Super Bowl. That's the only thing that got him that win. His last win was the defense did it for him, I think. But anyway, 11 viewers. Wow. Thank you all for coming in. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Sunday. No flying today. Just doing a couple runs here on the Hamburg to Lübeck line. And then we got one more trip after this. We're going to do a freight service from Lübeck to the port area. Played animal shelter demo. Okay. That seems like a rather strange game. Never heard of that one before. Animal shelter. Okay. Or they might as well come up with a sleeping simulator, I don't. Sport is nothing like. Oh. Yep. Yeah, it's. Are you talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. Because football players back in the day, they did make a lot of money, and many of them very early on in the NFL, they had a second job. They had an off-season job, just to make ends meet, because whatever money they got, it wasn't much. Now you got to sign multi-million-dollar contracts for so many seasons, and then you but I don't know. But a lot of that, they end up being a bust. There's been plenty of people that have come out of college to play pro football, and they get all this, they sign these big contracts, and then they can't even make it through their first season. Police simulator. Yeah. So, Mick, speaking of simulators, when are we going to get back on the farm, good sir? Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, Parrot. There's nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy it, it's great. I nothing against that. I just I was excited at the start of the season. Now my excitement's kind of gone right in the toilet. I can't. Ferrari's let me down. They broke my heart this year, and I can't handle that. I was really hoping this was going to be the year that the Tifosi was going to have a big celebration. We were going to finally be on the top step at the end of the season. We were going to win the whole thing. Nope, they found a way to screw it up. So, oh well, what can you do? So yeah, we got one more stop after this, and then we're gonna hop into a different train. We're gonna do a freight service, and then we're gonna wrap things up for today. 13. Oh, somebody subscribed again. I was down to 15. Somebody renewed their subscription, I think. And then we will be streaming again. Well, okay, but I was asking Mick when we were going to be back on the farm, not. But okay, that's fine too. No, I was wondering because I know Mick, we got going there pretty good, and you know, so just wondering if Mick has a plan as to when we were going to be back on his farm. Oh, there we go. Mick subscribed for 3 months, 3 month streak. Ooh, uh-oh. I started looking at the chat. I'm going to end up blowing this. Not unless I can stop in time and then... No. Well, thank you for the resub, Mick. Appreciate it. 3 months in a row. Uh-oh. I'm going to end up not getting all the way into the station here. See, I got so used to the controls on the plane. Well, at least we stopped. We didn't blow through the station. We just stopped early. Oh. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry, folks. Oh, well. Yeah, I think... Ooh, crap, crap, crap. Oops, oops, oops. Why am I going backwards? Going downhill. Why would I go backwards? Oops, daisy. Oh, okay. That's fine. Wow. Joseph, don't you even go wow in my chat with some of your questionable driving, good young man. No. Don't you even wow me. Your driving is far more atrocious than mine has been. We are trying to get back on track, but it's somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, don't you wow me. Your train driving. At least I got the train stopped. Might not be on the platform, but at least I didn't. You know. Well, it's been so long since I've been on this route, so and I was looking at the chat, you know, the like Mick's doing when he's trying to drive an F1 car and he looks over and he starts reading the chat, and next thing he knows he's in the wall. Or he's spun somehow. Or he's coming out the pits and he forgets that he's coming out the pits and he's reading the chat and the car just kind of goes like That's fine, Mick. I just didn't know if there was a time frame or whatever. You know, I think we got used to during the pandemic, we were, there was no holidays or visitors or anything really, you know, and now people feel comfortable doing all those things. Um, it does change the dynamic of time. But, so during the 5 days off that I'm taking from streaming and all that, I am going to try. I've gotta make the time. I have to. I really want to do this. I want to do a flight from Heathrow to JFK in the Concorde. I've got the takeoff, the startup. Now the startup. Oh my goodness, the startup procedure takes. Uh, yeah, takes forever. Like it's a long procedure because you have this whole panel, the flight engineer panel. That's and you go to the station. Sometimes the stuff isn't late. Like it doesn't glow blue to show you where it is to hit the switch or whatever. So um, yeah. So I do want to do a flight. I just got to put in the time to do an entire flight start to finish so I can, I've got the takeoff, the climb, get up to cruise, going Mach 2, and you're breaking the sound barrier like constantly. Um, but, well, not constantly, but on the game, it's like if you, depending on where you put the camera, it's like a boom every couple minutes, or so. So, but this is the descent part that I gotta work on. That's the part I need to get better at, or figure out because it's um, it's a bit weird. So I got to put in some time on that. I got to figure out um, that part of the flight so that I can do a full flight from start to finish and land and make it all the way there. Um, so I got to do that. Um, so yeah, I got to put in some time. I got to schedule, like I just got to put aside a day, not do nothing else but just practice that part. Yeah. Well, I think Mick has, Pulse has, Chris has, I think Jody has. Yeah, it's just I I can get the plane started up no problem generally, right? It just takes a bit of time to go through all the buttons and whatnot, right? And then because it's not a quick startup like it is in the like in the A320 for instance. It's a lot. There's a lot more buttons to do, you know. So um, which is fine. But and then taxing out, all that stuff is not a problem. Taking off, I got that going and then climbing, and I was cruising along very well. But now it's just when I descended, it was like I was descending at the wrong rate or something. I don't know. It wasn't working. That's for sure. Um, so yeah, I just got to get some practice with it. So I have to set aside a day where I'm just going to dedicate some time to that and nothing else, other than eating and the usual stuff. But I just don't. I want to be able to do the flight completely without much fuss. So it's definitely it's an interesting plane, but Yeah, I just have to practice that part. Um, so you watch. Now this is going to say 160, and then it's going to drop down below that after we pass it. We already got the yellow coming into Lübeck. Um, Maybe depending on how long tomorrow's stream is, again I'm kind of guesstimating the my feeling is it's going to be about 4 hours, but hopefully going to be less than that. I'm hoping it's going to be closer to like um a three about 3 hours or so. But I may show just for fun. What I may do is I might do the do a show you guys the inside of the flight deck of the Concorde and all the bits and bobs that you gotta sort through. And luckily, I do have there is a manual for it, so it does kind of show you where everything is. But yeah, it would take some time because one of the things that, well, I could do it on a stream, right? If I ever do the flight, I could do the whole startup on a stream, but the problem would be that I can't keep trying to pay attention to the chat and do that at the same time. I would get lost of where we were at in the checklist, or I could have the checklist open, but it's just so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's why usually I've been doing the startup off stream, and then that way I can focus on that and not worry about the chat at the same time. So, all right, we're finally here. A little late, thanks to those reds. All right. Well, I'm guessing we're going to get a silver here. I'll be surprised if we get a gold. Oh, all right. We've got one more trip to do, and we'll wrap things up. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Thank you again, Mick, for the resub. Appreciate that, good sir. Well, there we are. What do we get? Silver. Oh, get out of here. I did not. No way. Nah, come on. That was not that was not gold worthy of a gold. Come on now. I think somebody lied on that one. Ooh, that's a pretty cool shot. Somebody paid somebody off on that one. Let's see, it was 1350 this one. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with the game. There's no way that was gold worthy of a gold. I'm sorry, but no. Let's see here. We gotta get the. Where's the? Gotta get the brakes charging. There we go. Let's get the Make sure all of our the lights are back here. Oh, release the parking brake. Where's the headlights? Signal. Headlights this vehicle. Okay. Okay, I think we are set to go. And there we are. I yeah. Well, I don't know that was definitely not worth. I don't think it was worthy of a gold on that one. That was not some very good driving for me. It was not very good driving for me. Got one of those itches on my back that just I cannot reach. It's like driving me crazy. Cautious about speeding too much. Oh, it's the yeah. Go Ray me. Yeah. I still think this driver is overdressed for being a freight driver. Not too long of a train. See, you used to be able to go. I forget what the switches are, or how to do it now, but it would take you to the back of the train to give you an idea how long it was. But that's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Yeah, he does look good, right, Skeptic? Way overdressed to be a freight train driver. Now, passenger, I can believe possibly that's like a normal uniform for a passenger, but for freight, that seems to be a little bit unreasonable. How are you doing, Skeptic? Nice to see you here. I use a remote as a back scratcher. Well, like, I'm guessing it's just it's easier for them to put the driver in looking like this because then they don't have to have maybe, but that's not since the 50. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the hat might be much, but the other part of the outfit, yeah, but the hat, that's almost like you're looking like a pilot almost. So, but they probably just threw it on for fun. I don't know. See, when I took the trains in Germany, I didn't really pay attention to the how the drivers looked in the 80s, late 80s or so. I wish I'd paid more attention to the trains when because I wasn't a train fan back then. I didn't really pay attention to that stuff. So yeah, tomorrow, however long it takes. Once we conclude, I'll show you. We'll spawn in on the inside the Concorde. Paid that much attention, but I know you'd always be able to identify them. Yeah, so yeah, the uniforms. Yeah, there would be some kind of a thing, but yeah, I think the hat. You're probably right. In the 50s, that was probably the norm, but after a while, it was like it looked a little bit silly. So I think they just did the uniform thing that had an identifying sort of uh, badge or logo or something that who they were, or that they were a railroad employee. I mean, I loved riding the trains when I was in Germany. It was just um, you know, it was a fun, it was a great way to get around and go places, and nice way to see different parts of Germany. Or even when you were going along, you were just like, oh, check out the scenery. So, yeah, stuff. So yeah, tomorrow, time is TBD, to be determined, for the start of the stream. I'll try. Got my alarm already set for tomorrow morning. Get up, get dressed, get over to Walmart, get the grocery shopping done, get back here, get some coffee in me, and have a little quick bite to eat. We'll start the sim up, and then we'll be on our way from Yangon to Suvarna Bhumi International. Suvarna Bhumi. I'm probably butchering that name, and I apologize if I'm. And if you accept that they are notoriously, see, when the funny thing is, when I was there, they were notoriously on time. Like, you could set your watch by the German trains, and I asked somebody who's from Germany that they said no, that's changed. They don't. They had such a. I guess it stressed out the employees too much, or the drivers, or something, to be on time. Uh, Never heard of what, Joseph? Um, yeah. That okay? That's what it was. I didn't know they privatized it, but yeah, they said no, it's not as reliable as it used to be, which is strange because I mean that was like one of the things that the German train system was well known for around the world for many years, was how on time they were, and they were the standard as far as passenger services went. Um, I don't know. Well, I'm shooting for 12:30 era, but Suvarn Bhumi, Suvarna, Suvarna Bhumi. It's I'll tell you where it is. Hold on a second, Joseph. That is VTS. Oh, VTSB, I think. Better keep an eye on my speed while I'm multitasking here. TSB. So it's in Thailand. It's called, the other name, according to this, is Surat Thani. But the Surat, Thailand. Okay, so it's Surat Thani, but in the sim it's called Suvarn Bhumi. So yeah, so we're going to Thailand tomorrow. From yeah, so we're going from Myanmar to Thailand tomorrow. Getting closer to Indonesia. One of the trips we're going to go to Singapore, I think, on next week, a week from tomorrow. Nope. On Wednesday, we're going to Singapore. That'll be leg 29. So we are almost there. We're getting close to the end of that journey. Well, there's no. Oh, Parado, I don't want an adventure story, trust me. Like that Walmart. It used to be open 24 hours. It was so bad they had to close it overnight. That's how many problems they were having. To Thailand, Joseph? Um, so yeah, I don't want stories from Walmart, trust me. Cuz either somebody's getting injured, somebody's getting killed, somebody's getting arrested. uh yeah, no. I no. No, I don't want stories. I see the one story I always tell, this was probably I think pre-pandemic. Yeah, it was that bad. It was they've had for many years, there was a lot of shoplifting problems and just people coming in and just being rude and unpleasant to the, like, the employees don't need that in their lives. They already have a tough enough time as it is. But yeah, people come in there and get very. But no, there was the one story that I always tell for those of you who haven't been on the channel very long. This was, like I said, I think it was pre-pandemic. It was probably Christmas of 2019, and young kid with his grandparents. He was probably, I'd say maybe 11, 10, something like that. They were getting him a brand new Xbox, the Elite controller. That's what it was, the Elite controller. And I don't think it was for Christmas, but it was like for his birthday or something. And this kid, as soon as they were in the checkout line, and he's got the thing in his hand, right? He's looking at that controller, he's moving the box around and all that stuff. And then he says the most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard a kid say. "Once we're done, can you just take me home, please?" Not say thank you or anything like that. Just said, "When can you take me home after we're done here?" It was their time with his grandparents, I think, and because he got what he wanted, his grandparents were no longer. And his grandmother, I think, just about cried. I could see it in her face. She was just like, you could tell she was heartbroken. And yeah, I was just like, wow. Yeah, ungrateful. I was just like, yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I was standing right behind them in line, and I was just like, wow. You know, any other grandparent, I think they would have been like, um, you know what, forget it now. You don't need this. You don't deserve it. You know. Yeah, I'll never forget that. But yeah, that Walmart was notorious for many years. When I moved over here, it was bad. It was really bad. Um, but yeah, it used to be 20 open 24 hours, and I think it was even pre-pandemic. They finally said no after like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. They were closed for the night. Part of it too is I think that they try to get stuff restocked, and if people are in there, in the evening or early morning or whatever, um, they they couldn't get stuff done. So that was part of it as well, I think. But yeah, they had a really bad problem with shoplifting and just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, yeah, I couldn't believe that. Yeah, like yeah, well, he had that box and he was just like that's all he was paying attention to. You know, I'm like, wow, you're gonna regret the day that you didn't spend time with your grandparents. They're gonna be gone before you know it, and you're gonna look back and you're gonna feel bad. Well, you would think so, but maybe not. But uh, but yeah, there was times when I worked at the hospital across town for a while. I was working a late shift, and I would be like, "Oh, I'll stop off at Walmart," and I think I did like once or twice, and I'm just like, "Yeah, no, no, never again." That's just too weird, you know. But no, yeah, we've had some. So yeah, that's kind of I think kind of it's improved things, but it's also for some people it was a matter of convenience that they could go into a store at 2 o'clock in the morning after they got off their late shift, because there's two hospital, three, four hospitals in the area. Um, so you have a lot of people who are working different shifts, so it's convenient for them to be able to go stop off somewhere and get their groceries on the way home after working. You know, uh, yeah. But but I guess then of course you have Instacart and other ways to buy your groceries and have it delivered if necessary. But I don't know. I don't think even any Instacart people are up that early. No, I mean it's convenient, but it's not like because I think part of the problem was that they had so many problems with shoplifting, and then the people would get who got caught would get very confrontational with the employees, and um, like I think also some of the employees were they felt like they weren't being treated very well by the management, the late night management, I guess. I mean, there was all kinds of issues, um, but yeah, so yeah, people are that all got changed. So there's a few shoplifters every once in a while. The police get yeah, yeah, it was, you know. Well, it was a weird mixture. It was it was like the sometimes it's the employees being, you know, unprofessional with the customers, and it was like a bad mix altogether. I think, you know, but So yeah, it for a while it was only you had to wait till 7:30 to open. Now they opened it at 6 finally. So I'm gonna try to be over there as soon as the doors open. I'm gonna get in there, get my stuff, and get back home and get a cup of coffee going and have a quick bite to eat or something, and then I'll have some snacks, handy while we're flying, and then we'll get that flight done. And then I'll put in the flight plan. I'll put that in today. I think I have. Yeah. So we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do a. I don't know. Was it a VOR? I forget which kind of landing I had set up, but. So I'll put that stuff out. I'll put that in the Discord a little bit later. Speeding here. You guys are gonna start making. You're gonna make Joseph start crying now, talking about grandparents. Yeah, just a little. I'll just let it cruise. It's okay if we're holding up everybody behind us. It's privatized, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, we'll get that done. Then we'll have a quick look inside the flight deck of the Concorde, just so you guys get an idea of what I'll be tackling eventually. So I'm hoping. I really want to get a flight in September. Maybe. I know you do, Joseph. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I do like this that they have the actual. It does look like a professional sort of shipping company. We'll surf right here for a little bit. Lost mine many years ago. My grandfather first, my grandmother after that, and I still think about them. And it's been quite a long time. So. So yeah, we'll be done pretty soon here. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Got a few viewers today all of a sudden. I don't fly, and now everybody's interested. You guys are a finicky bunch. So yeah, we got that flight on Tuesday, Phoenix to Austin in the A320. Wednesday, we are continuing, that would be leg 27. We're heading to Chumphon. Thursday, Cessna 172 floater plane, Port McNeil Seaplane Base to Parksville. Friday, King Air 350i boats to St. Jan. We're going to be in Italy or thereabouts. Saturday, Great Falls to Cheyenne. That's going to be a long flight. We got 152, 143, 95, and 90. And I haven't even set up gotta look at how we can do an approach on that one. Either DME arc or something. We'll find out. We'll figure something out. We'll look into that. Rewrite my. Look at the. Never really, I don't think I ever, well, parent TV with my grandparents, but that was like Murder, She Wrote, Matlock, Diagnosis Murder, Columbo, MacGyver. Yeah. Golden Girls. I don't think, oh, my grandmother would probably have a heart attack, literally, if she saw the way TV was today. Oh yeah, the Lawrence Welk show. I can't forget that. We did watch quite a bit of that too. It was more about listening to the music and stuff, but all right, we're almost there. I'm so used to the controls on Flight Sim now that I push buttons and I expect something different to happen, and it's like, no. Well, enjoy, Para. Thank you all to the subscribers. Thank you always, Mick. He cracked the mold. Was the first subscriber to the Uncle B Sim channel once we had that available. Has been a big supporter all along, so I greatly appreciate that, good sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I don't care what Joseph says about you. I didn't really see what might have happened. I just saw like I do follow Peter Windsor on YouTube, and he said something about George being on pole, but I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just saw the thing, and I'm like, I better not watch it because it's going to get my blood pressure up. I know you do, Joseph. I know you do. Well, be here Wednesday. I'm going to sing for you. You asked somebody to sing for you, and I'm going to sing for you, so you got to be here Wednesday. It won't take very long, I promise you. I can assure you. But you'll never forget it. So... yeah. Oh, I know, Perry. I know. I don't have anything against him personally. I have everything against his team. That's all. The team he drives for. So I wonder who's going to move to Vettel's seat once he's done. Uh-oh. Oh, man, really? See, here we go again with this. It was like, bam. Red. No yellows or any other kind of warning. It was just, bam, red. Watch, as soon as I come to a stop, it's going to go green. Nope, maybe not. Make sure that I'm just going to sit right here. Must be... who's ahead of me? That's clear. Something's ahead of me.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Oh, I wouldn't want Alonso there. Mm-mm. Nope. Must be another train coming from somewhere else. But I have to wait.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Interesting. Yeah. No, they need somebody. They need a younger driver who's going to be around for a while, that they can kind of, somebody that either has some experience but is, on the rise, that can be their long-term number one. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think Bottas is kind of locked in there at Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I don't know. So I think for that team, they need a strong British driver. Is what they need. That's weird. Wonder what happened that allowed us to. I just let that soap continue. Oh. Yeah, I don't know who. Oh, it must have been this train here. Oh. Same train as we're running. Locomotive, I should say. I don't know who would be a good choice. I mean, either that or they're just gonna have to bring. I think it'd be preferable if they had a young British driver. Actually, you know what? We need another Kimi Räikkönen on the grid. I think. No, Kimi's pretty much done, but we need a Kimi on the grid or a Mika Hakkinen type. I'd like to see another Mika Hakkinen. I miss Mika Hakkinen, to be honest. He was one of the few drivers I think that he had a genuine uh, respect for Michael. You know, they had a good respect for each other, I think. But yeah, I like to see another Mika Hakkinen. Piastri is the next best rookie. I don't even know who that is, to be honest. That's how much I know. Yeah, if we had another, I think maybe not so much another Kimi, but another Mika would be nice. I think kind of cool finish exterior. You know, I wish Mika could have been. I think it would have been great if he'd had more championships than he did, but I still like. I laugh. There's a commercial with Jude Law where they did like this series, and he goes to this grand villa, and this guy's got an old racing car there, and so he fixes up and he says, if you can get to Monaco before within such a period of time, they'll you win the whole estate. And so Jude Law says, okay. And at the end, they get to Monaco, and the car is just about, he's almost there, but his car fails him. And so Mika Hakkinen sees, and he jumps out of his seat, and he runs over to help push the car across the line. Oh, it's such a great commercial. I have to, I have it on, I saved it on YouTube. I think I'll have to post it over on my Discord in the auto racing section maybe, but yeah, it's a funny commercial. But to see me, he sees his car and he just jumps up and runs over there. Like I watched the Top Gear episode when James May interviewed him and all that. It was quite a funny because Mika was so deadpan, when he was talking. It'd be interesting to see who they get to take that seat though. I wonder if they could get Mick Schumacher away from Haas. I don't. I can't see Haas lasting much longer. They've not had any kind of results, and I think eventually they're gonna toss in the towel. It was an interesting experiment, but I just don't see them having the ability to actually fight for a championship, no matter whose engine they have. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Mick Schumacher there. I guess that wouldn't be so bad. They might have enough money to do it. I don't know. Yeah, it is a soap opera. The silly season, as I've heard it called as well. It's who's going to go where. Some people may end up without a ride because somebody else was brought in, and or the team's folding up, and where's somebody going to go. You know, some people eye the heading over to America to the Indy Racing League. Uh, some people might go sports car racing. Oh, I saw Valentino Rossi's at the 24 Hours of Spa, and he's seemed quite happy. They did a quick interview with him. So, he's kind of branched out because I know pretty soon it's going to be the end of his career. So I'm guessing he's looking at what else he could do beyond motorcycle racing. I think he would do well in sports car racing full time. He would certainly bring a lot of people to the track. There'd be a whole generation of fans that would certainly go to watch him race that have never seen him race on a motorcycle in MotoGP. But I think he's too old now for Formula One. But I could see him doing sports car racing full time. I feel like I'm bringing a plane in our approach. Oh, look at that! Right on the button. Ta-da! Let's see if this is gold worthy. Oh, look at that. 2 golds in a row. Okay, this game is definitely broken. Well, that will do it for today, folks. Thank you all for coming in, hanging out. I walked 2.11 meters. How did I walk? I don't think I walked anywhere. That's weird. Okay. Um, yeah, so he can go anywhere midfield if there's. Yeah, I think he would. I think he could go to. He could take Vettel's seat. I think he should get out of there while he can, because I don't think Haas is going to be around much longer. To be honest, they've not had any decent results and stuff like that. So I can't see them sticking around another season or more after this. So anyway, that'll wrap it up for today, folks. Thank you all for coming in. Appreciate your time and your viewing, whatever you want to call it, your presence. I will see you all tomorrow as soon as I can. We'll get the stream started up. I will put the information in here in the chat in the Discord here shortly, and get that all pushed out so that everybody knows. I'm going to double check all my information before I publish it to make sure all my stuff is correct. But I think it is. But I'll double check it. Yeah, 2 golds. I didn't expect that first one was probably not worthy of a gold, but apparently I did enough to get one. But anyway, I will enjoy the rest of your Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, early Monday, depending on where you are in the world. I have been and always shall be your host and train driver today, Uncle B. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.